Good afternoon, everyone. I hope this has started. My thing sometimes doesn't always start. So today I popped on. I had decided to do Rachel and Bella's crafts. Sorry, 1 second. It's very warm outside, but downstairs it's a little chilly. And my legs are really cold for some reason. So I'm just grabbing a small blanket to drape over my legs. Apologize for that. I didn't feel it because always on my chair I have a big blanket that I wrap myself around when I'm sitting. But when I'm doing filming, because I roll my chair around, it doesn't work so well. So I didn't feel how cold my legs were till now. Even though it's beautiful and sunny down outside, it's beautiful here. We've had 2 really warm days, and so our snow is slowly melting. And as well as we're going out and shoveling into places where it was more empty and spreading because we have huge hills of snow. So trying to spread it out so it melts faster so we can start to see our grass. So I had decided, first let me say hello to everybody. I always do that. I just jump right in. Poof! Let's go. Let's start doing it. I just want to say hello to everyone. Thank you for all those that join me and those that are following me. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. As well, please like and comment the video. It does really help me out a lot. But I'm going to be doing Rachel and Bella's Show Some Style JJ23 collaboration. I have a hard time saying that word. I watched all the videos today. I had watched some of it yesterday, but I had something on my mind to do these past few days. I had been neglecting my shop and my business that I'm trying to build, so I really focused on that for a few days. So I watched the videos today. I had already watched Rachel's on the 10th and went in and decided what I wanted to do. I haven't printed off all of her things yet because I have used my limit on what I can print, and I've already gone over 44 pages. Lucky I had some extras left over from another time when I had purchased, I hadn't used so much of my paper. So I'm kind of just printing a few here and there as I work on it, but I'm going to have to do some because I want to put together the journals. So in her Show Me Some Style, it started the 10th with her telling you about it, and then it'll finish on the 30th. And she has different subscribers, and almost all of them I already subscribed to. I think, well, there are a few new ones for me, like Carol Law, Rose JournalsInTime. I think Caroline. There's quite a few. So I'm going to be watching, and I'll probably end up subscribing to them all, especially if I like their style. I'm that way. But like I've already been watching Edith for a long time. I love her. As well as Angela Kerr. I have subscribed to Bella, which is Rachel, I think Rachel's mom, if I'm correct, their mother-daughter team. And I haven't watched a lot of her videos, and after watching her video, I'm going to have to do some binge watching of her videos. Wendy, I do the same. I'm newer to her channel, binge watch some of her. Gayle, I've been a part of since I started. She was one of the first, along with Pam from the post paper, mixing up the name now. Rachel and Bella I've been for a long time. Cori, the same thing. Stacy, I've been watching Stacy from Stacy's Craft Jam for a while. We belong to similar groups together. And some of the others don't sound familiar. And Melina. Melina and Edith are mother-daughter. And again, I've been watching them both for a while. They're both, I learn a lot from them. And then I try to pass my wisdom on. So that's the different people. I'm just going to put that aside for a second. So their people are going to be choosing 2 of these 4 styles. I will have all this listed down below later, where you can find these pages. I printed them out because it's easier for me and because I really want to, I'm going to choose 2 of these and do the journals. I'm not going to do steampunk. I need to do steampunk, but because it's so out of my wheelhouse, I think it would be so challenging for me doing videos. It won't be hard. I have done some botanical, but I'm really going to do a shabby and a vintage. And the reason I'm choosing these 2 is, yes, I kind of do like a shabby chic vintage together. I'm going to try to be very specific, and a good one to watch, because she's doing a shabby and a vintage, again, is Bella from Bella's Crafty Studio. She really shows the 2 difference in here, and I really learned a lot, because I kind of always thought these were the same thing. So that's been really interesting for me. So you can go and print this off, or just go look at it, or I don't know if that's fully in because of the way my camera is. So this is what I'm going to work. I haven't put my journals together yet because I wasn't sure. I debated whether I was going to do this or not. How fully I was going to get into it, if I was just going to do parts of it, and then I decided I'm going to do this. So what I did today is I watched Edith, Bella, Angela, Wendy today. And so I actually put notes on the back of this. That's how interested I am in doing this collaboration. My goal is one day to be able to be a part of a collaboration. I'm new, so I don't expect it right away. But so this is good practice for me. So I'm going to do today, I'm going to do the scrapbooking with me. I just called it a tri-fold pocket with tags. I missed what she called it. Bella and Crafty Studios, I'm going to go back. She has wonderful, wonderful pocket ideas, but I don't have a journal put together. So for me to measure out pockets is really hard. So I know that I'm going to be going back to her and looking at her designs of pockets, and I'll probably do a video on that. Angela Kerr, I loved one of her ideas of how to put a journal together. So one of my journals is going to be based on her idea. It's just so new to me that it's going to take me a little bit of time to look at it, and I've got to purchase her template to build the pocket, like the pouch that the journal goes into. So, and watching that, I know it's going to take me a time to catch on to that pouch. Okay, and then Wendy's is a wonderful ephemera holder, but I'm not doing an ephemera holder because I'm not going to put an ephemera holder in my journal. I think I'm going to take something she did, if we have time today, and do just a page for my journal using kind of her concept. I'm just going to adapt it a little bit. Her style of her ephemera holder, I will make personally for ephemera holder. But I'm going to do something different, and I might make another one and do an ephemera holder once I know what my journals are going to be. So for right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to list the people I watched down below as well. And I might list more of the collaborations. Rachel and Bella right now she's been very kind, and she has her pages at a very good price. I bought 3 of her sets, and did I write them down? No. Does she have them listed here for me to see? Not really, but I will make sure I put a link to them. But I bought 3 of her sets, almost, and I have 2 more that I want, and that's her Beatrice set. That's the bad thing about me going into Etsy. Plus, I bought some other stuff from Etsy yesterday, and I shouldn't be. So to start off, I printed my stuff. I made my tags. how I made my tags is I have some tag templates that I made myself. And I just grabbed an old file folder and cut out my tags. Now I have pieces left over from the other side of that eventually, I'll show you the pieces left over if they're close by. It was okay I did that because there's something I forgot that I printed off that I needed anyways, that I might use. Oh, now this blanket is getting caught in my wheels. I can't win. Just to have warm legs. Sorry, I just opened my Insta Ink and I use these for tags or journal cards. So this is what's left over from what I cut up of one side. So I have another tag and I'm going to cut these into tags, and the same with this. So they won't go to waste. I will make more tags from them. So I already got my 3 tags I need for this. I printed my paper. I was trying to be more organized. And so this is for my tags. Plus I printed something else. I do this every time. I haven't yawned in hours since I woke up and I put on my video. So this is one of her pages from the kit, and I just noticed I didn't trim this up. My cutter right now won't cut this thin paper. It chews it up, so I have to hand cut it. So sometimes I miss little pieces, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I need to order. So these are in one of her kits, and I really wished I would have wrote the names down. I apologize. So I printed this, and then I printed this on the back, and then I trimmed it up. And so what she does is first she and I folded it because I had to practice, and I had to check for tag size. And then she just folds it like this, and again, you can see how bad my trimming is. I probably didn't put on my glasses, which doesn't help even right now. I could ink that, not a problem. Now, if you're going to ink this up, this is the best time to ink it up before you do all the little... And I love this. This is going to go in this journal, but I love this so much that this will be, I'm going to do a template later to keep. Sometimes I keep examples of things I try, and I don't glue it all together so I can refer back to it. I'm not doing, because this paper is so beautifully inked, I'm not adding a lot of ink to it. Just kind of here where I folded it a bit. I need to put some ink refill in there. Just on the bottom here where I filled it a little. And I'm not inking that side. I'm leaving it like that. And then she eyeballed it, and so did I. So you fold the one page in. It's like, so you want to try to balance it as much as possible. Now, my folding skills sometimes aren't the best. And you're going to get some maybe where you have to trim. But that's easy to trim up. See, I know I have to trim a little here. So I did that. And the same here. I'm not trimming too much. Just to even that up a bit. Just to make it look a little bit nicer. And so that's all there is to it. Now, she didn't measure, and I didn't either. I just kind of, when I did it, I just kind of went like that. And so this will become my front cover. And, of course, the inside. All right. As plain and simple as that is. And then you're going to take glue. Now, she has that beautiful glue that I really want, but I just can't justify the cost of it here in Canada. And it's got that beautiful little nice tip on it. And so basically where that line is here to form the pocket, and then I'm going to put it on the outside as well. And I'm trying to put, I don't want a lot of glue. I don't need a lot of glue, so I'm just doing it nice and slow. So to form my pockets. So I'm just going to fold it over, back over, crease it in that crease, in this one, and in this one. I give it a second to dry because it does take a second to dry. I use the bold folder here. So just giving it, I'm just going to fold it and do that so that it dry. There we go. And again, you'll see my pocket didn't quite, so I could go ahead and trim that, but I'm not worrying about it. And then it's over on this side. I definitely will trim it. I got to put my glasses down though to see that one. I mean, there's easy ways to fix that without causing too much grief. And somehow I didn't finish the snip. There we go. Do I need to put a little more glue or we're good? I think I need to put a touch more here because it doesn't want to hold. There we go. And yes, my glue is going to spill over. I'm not worried about that. So now, if I'm correct, we have 1, 2, maybe I'm going to have to make this one a little smaller because the glue kind of slid over there a little bit, but that's easy fix. I'll just trim up the side a little here. Like I said, I just... Now, I would have... Do watch Edith and hers, because we all have our own style and our own way of doing... Even though some of my style is close to her, because she likes to do collage tags a lot, and that's really what I like. So there we go. We have 3 pockets that fold like this. Okay, and then we'll go from there. Just take some of that paper off. So let's go ahead and do our tags. Now I know she put, I think she put the circle. I'm not doing that in mine. I'm not worrying about it. If I would have done it, I would have done it before I glued it. This is still not evening out for me. All right, and then we'll go ahead. Let's do our tags first, and then we'll embellish everything. Okay, so what I did for what I plan to do with my tags, and it's very close to Edith because it's what I like to do on my tags anyways. I printed off this is one of the pages from RachandBella's kit, and then I printed I have this a monthly subscription to the Graphic Fairies where I pay, and I printed these off of her site, and that's where Rachel got some of this to make her kit. And what is funny is I'm actually the one she used to make her kit, I've been making my own with as well. This is one of my own collage pages. So I thought that was funny when I opened it up and I was like, oh, I did something similar. And that happens when you watch a lot of YouTubers. You find maybe your style and it just goes so well. So I've printed those off to cover my tags. And yes, I'm going to do almost exactly the same thing, but if you watch any of my before, you'll see that I can just pull out my box here of things I've been working on, finishing up projects. And so you'll see that in many things I like to collage, I like to collage a lot of stuff. So a lot of my tags are already collaged, and even in my collaging is my favorite. I don't know why, but even in my tag box, this is that template I use, so I got to put it back in my templates. You'll see this is my shabby chic, and you'll see, well, not those ones aren't collaged. It's a collaged, but then you'll see when you go into there's collaged, I do the same thing. I'll cover it with just one paper. That's my floral stuff. And then you'll see, here's my collage. I like to collage tags. So that is my go-to. I could have even not had to worry about making tags. I probably could have pulled even some of these out of here. So these are my tags ready to go. And you can see I like to collage. It's my favorite thing to do. It's probably what I do. I got a empty chocolate box in there. A cherry blossom that my friend brought for me for Easter. I love chocolate covered cherries and cherry blossoms, and I became friends with him through Andre, my friend upstairs who I rent from. Me and Andre have been roommates for a very long time. So in this, because, well, some I could just do that full blue, or I could take it and start here and get a bit of that. So that's what I'm going to do first on my first tag. Now, I'm funny this way. Well, in this case, I think I can glue it on because I know exactly where I'm going to glue. So I'm just going to put some glue on it. What I do with the file folders, I don't buy new file folders to take. When I go to the Goodwill store, I haven't found it in a long time, but one time in Guelph, I got a big pile of them for $3. So those are more or less the ones I use to make journal cards or tags with. I also use my scrapbooking paper. I have a ton of scrapbooking paper in all kinds of colors because, you know, you buy one pack and there's all kinds of colors. Some of those colors you don't use so often. So a lot of times I use those for my tags because I'm going to cover them. Using the collage pages makes the tag really easy to do because with a collage tag, I find I don't sometimes do much more to it, just looking for a ruler, because I find sometimes this the easiest way. I just go along and do that. And I'll have to get a little empty file folder, and I don't know where one is. Do I have one handy? Oh, I do. A lot of times I buy these at our dollar store. So when I'm working on a project, sometimes I'll put the scraps in one of these or the ephemera that I may print from it. And that way I just keep it with the project instead of all the scraps everywhere. So that later maybe I'm collaging something as I go. Because of course in the 30 days I'll be doing other my own personal things in the journal, because they're not going to show us every pocket they're going to do. So, but I'm going to make sure that I continue to work on these journals with you, and then I will end up most likely putting them in my shop. So there we go. I'm just trimming up this. And what I did, again, because I have the Graphic Fairy Club membership, I printed off some backings. I printed off this one that came out really nice. And then these, for some reason on my printer, I tried both portrait and landscape, so I don't get the full paper. I don't know what to do to fix that. So some things I'm really good at printing and other things I'm not, but I can still use these. I'm not worried about this. I used this one because I liked the idea. Originally it kind of had a two-tone with peach, but because the way my printer, I know a lot of people use their coffee dyed paper. I can't really do much, or tea dye. I can't do much dyeing in the winter because I'm in the basement and I can only do about 10 sheets at a time, and it takes sometimes well over 24 hours for it to dry down here. Even in the summer it can be difficult with humidity down here. So I print my backing paper because my tea dye I like to use, or when I do avocado too, I like to use that in my journals, or making scrappy pads, or or little notepads or whatever. So And I'm really, really low on tea dyeing, so sometime really soon I'm going to have to... the table I use is full of... Right now I'm taking all our Easter decorations down. I decorate the upstairs for them, as well as my own little space. So it's easier for me to take it all and put it on the table, then pull the boxes out. So I'm just going to, again, simply glue the back, which most of you who've been doing this for a while, you don't need instructions, but just in case anybody new starts, take that big glob, and I can tell I didn't get that corner. I'm bad for corners. I always have to go back and redo corners. And a lot of times I do leave where I trim the side to make sure that I cover it. And I should have brought a little baby wipe. Oh, I don't have baby wipes, so I've got to go get some. So I've been using my makeup wipes. What I'll do is just wipe my face a little with it first. And that way I won't feel like I'm wasting it. Take some of the oil off. There we go. And then let's make sure. So I always go ahead and back mine right away. Again, I think I'll pull it. I just find it easier. Do you know how many times I have glued the wrong side when I put on my backing? Oh, I didn't tear that very well. That's okay. I'm not worried. That can become a scrap. I'm not like I don't... I've got to make a bunch of master boards. That's got to be a day where I spend just making master boards and having them on hand, because I have so many scraps right now. It's just... I'm actually doing a bit of a video, what's on my desk, once or twice a week. Or just turn on. I clean up some of the scraps on my desk from projects. I cleaned out one of my drawers and all the paper from it. I'm trying to I got to catch up on fussy cut. I almost have to take a week and not do any videos and make nothing and just catch up on my fussy cutting. It's out of control. Now, I didn't smooth this out very well, so let me go back over it and smooth it out. There we go. So my front and back is covered. This is a little damp for me, so I'm just gonna dry some of that up. Oh, there we go, rolling over my... Okay, so we have that one done. Nice and easy. And I'm going to do 2 collage, and then using this, and then I'm going to use my own paper. I might do my own collage as well. I think I'll glue it this way. See, sometimes I want to get a bit of both. So I want to kind of put it right in the middle. But I could do that with my paper. So let's just go, oh, I kind of like this side. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay. The paper is so beautiful. You can do so much with it. I have to put together, but I want to get my journals together. And one part of me, maybe later, we'll see. Probably not tonight. Maybe tomorrow if I get some quiet in the house. Why is that doing that? I wiped that, but for some reason it's still really sticky. Might be time to take the board. Yeah, it's time to take the board and give it a good soap down. Every once in a while, I'm just going to flip it over for now. I go and it's not as pretty on this side. I go and like take it upstairs to the sink and give it a good wash and scrub, because I find that the baby wipe doesn't always get all the glue residue off. We'll tear that a little bit better this time. There we go. And then we'll take, the nice thing about when you buy these digitals, and I love digitals, that's my favorite thing to use. And I make my own digitals sometimes too. It's something I'm learning, and maybe one day I'll be as good as RachandBella to put together these amazing sets she puts together. But for one thing, I don't have a good program that I do it on, and two, I'm in the learning. But I get a lot of inspiration from her, from Sampool, and from Twisted Paper, Ruby and Pearl XO. So I get a lot of inspiration. It's kind of I found my niche of my style that I like to do. And so I do other things because, like, I made a botanical for a customer. So, and I'm just gonna, oh, I should do before I ink. Oh, well, I'm already in that step. I haven't even covered the back yet. Okay, let's get that back covered. Glue it. I glue it on the paper because if the paper is a little sticky, it doesn't matter because eventually it'll be used in glued on the back. So this glue stick, this glue is amazing. It sticks. It's sturdy. It just kind of gets clumpy sometimes. It's La Page. I get it on Canada, Amazon, and I paid $3.99 for it, and I love it. So a lot of times when I place an order, even for any other things, I'll just throw another one on to the order. Like I ordered a wardrobe. I find it easier to go down. I ordered a wardrobe because mine broke, and so threw a glue stick on it. And then I ordered, yeah, that was it. Now I want to do something new, so I want to buy some muslin fabric. So I have it on my Amazon list. Just waiting to see what I have left over in money for the month, and then I'll treat myself to that. Because I just put a Temu order in, and I have a second order because I want to start making wax seals. So I got a second order going in. I'm just making sure I pay a couple things, and I've had some good sales in my shop, and I just want to thank those that are my customers that watch this, that have purchased from me. It's a way I'm building my business, and I appreciate the support, and also how I'm going to eventually support myself by building this. There we go. So that's 2 tags done, other than if we decide to embellish them a little bit. All right, and then the last tag. Where did you go? Where did you go? Why are you hiding? Oh, there we go. Wasn't hiding that much. I just had to move some of my... So in this one, I'm going to collage a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of this, and this is where your tear rulers... I have the set of 3 of the We Are ones. I only really like this side in them. I find these sides I haven't used much. And maybe it's because I was able to find this tear ruler at the Goodwill, and I love it. I especially love this side when I want a good jagged edge, but this works really well too. And I find that perfect for when I'm collaging. So it doesn't matter really what side I rip, because one side I'm going to move that pen out of my way. I'm just going to rip it about here. I think he's off to get the little one, so by the time they get home, I'll be done the video anyways. So I'm just going to trim off the white for now, because some of the beige might get trimmed off more as well. So I'm just doing that to make it easier. Put that aside. That in the garbage. So I probably don't want as much beige. Well, I might. I'm going to do some. I am going to put that much beige. Okay, I'm going to do that. Then I also did this one. Now, I did this one and then I realized it's really big. And so I didn't think it was going to show as well. So I might print on the other side of this, trim it up, and use it as a page in my journal. So that didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. Now, so we're going to put that. And so what comes in handy now, like, because this blue is a good size. So if I wanted just the blue, I could do that because this has already got the writing, right? So I don't really want much of that writing, but other, and then I can also bring in, there's a piece, top piece of that one if I want it to. So I'm going to do some of the blue here. And so what I'm going to do is what I do is I line that like that. Sometimes I, this one here, for now, because I want this on top, so I put the paper there. I'll just put a paper clip, so then I can just kind of measure. And this is where a ruler comes in nice and handy. And sometimes, just in case, I could line it right up along the tag, but I'll add a little extra just for some play, just in case I need a little play on it. So then I'm going to bring this down onto here. Or I'll just tuck it all up in. Doesn't matter. And then how much? Because I really just want, or am I liking that too much beige? Maybe too much beige for me. Do I have any other? Oh, I had one more little piece here, but it's beigey too. But it's beigey with roses. What I'm going to do, just tearing that off. Will I use that? Yes. That I will stick back in my scrap pack along with this one. And even this one, I'll put in my scraps. Because if I make a cluster for the journal, then I can use that. And I'm going to put that back in because I'm not using that one. And a lot of times what I'll do, I don't have an empty one. I'll have to go I'm going to the dollar store tonight. And I'll grab a couple more pouches. But this was the mauve purple journal I finished. Now I'll put this in somewhere else. This is like my project folder. And so I'll put the larger scraps I'm using or whatever pages when I print all our pages in here. And then I can take the scrap. Sometimes I'll have two of these, one with the ephemera and one with the scraps. And I keep the project all together in this. That's just for me, because otherwise what happened is what happened to my drawer. I have all these scraps from all the projects and they get all tangled up in there. So I'm trying a new way when I'm doing a project or journal to see if that helps me. So I'm going to do this. So now I'm just going to change this up a bit so that I can clip both these for now. It just, for me, that helps me when I'm layering. So that is not, because I do that, so I want mainly that flower. So what we're going to do, again, I'm going to tear that off the bottom. I don't waste those. Those will get used. Oh, it's supposed to go this way, Christina. I want a lot of that showing. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to take this off because I'll show you what I'll do with that. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to glue this down first. Put this back up so I can have an idea. Maybe I should put this on top of that. No. That's me debating which way I want to go with that. What also I'll do is, I don't know if I have an empty one right now available. I do. I keep these close by papers that I'm going to recycle, and I gesso this because this was so bright, because I'll turn it into a master board. And so now lately I've been, as I'm doing a project, some of the smaller scraps I'll throw on there and use it for the master board. And then I'll just keep that in the folder too. And then if I want to make tags or pockets out of it, and I might do some bigger pieces later, because I'll probably, I know Bella, she does in her thing, she does a couple things, and one of the things she does do is make a masterboard in it, in hers, and I always do a masterboard because I love using it for tags or pockets. So again, I will keep that to one side. Now I'm going to glue this blue down. I can take the paper clip off. See the difference? When you have the papers already collaged, it does a little bit faster. But I know one of my ladies, when I did a live in Junk Journal Craft and Chat, my group that I run, she asked me how I decide what I put together. Now, this one's a little bit easier because I know what Rachel's digitals are. So I'm using the same things, and I have some of these I printed from the Graphics Fairy where she gets hers as well. So that kind of helps, but a lot of times I try to pull from, keep within the same color theme, or, so I do a lot of different things. In my live just on Sunday, I talked about that because one of the ladies asked me, she's newer to making junk journals, so she's like, how do you decide what colors to collage together? And that has been a learning thing for me, because I'm so two colors. If I'm doing pink, it's pink and green, and I won't stray from that. Or, like sometimes I would not think of putting this with this, but because Rachel did it so, I did not do that well. I did not line that well at all. Lucky I thought of that quickly, and I could fix it quite quickly. I don't care if I have to trim a little off the bottom. I want to make sure it's there, and because that's an easy fix. The same as even here, trimming up that one side, trimming this off. Now this is really sticky, so I could go ahead and put that right on the collage board, which I'm going to do because I made it so sticky. But this would be good on another tag even, but this will be perfect for this collage board. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it on. I'm not even thinking about where I'm sticking it. I'm just sticking it on. I do two types of master boards. I do master boards that you would make tags, journals, and journal cards and pockets from. I do also ones that are more scrappy, and I make hearts and scrappy hearts and butterflies from them. So that's what these little pieces would be used for if I don't use them in. But for now, except for this one, excuse me. There we go. And that's how I collaged. But I'm not finished with mine. I got to trim this first. I left that beige because I wanted to. You can do two things. I could add this into it here. That's why I kept it out. I could also see if I have a washi tape that I could pull out, and I begin using my washi tape again, and I could add washi tape to it as well. So you can do a little bit of that to break up some of the beige, and just go from there if you want more collaging. And if you wanted to, if you didn't want to use just a small piece, you could run it all the way down like that. Or even if you wanted to take from the beige more than you want it from the thing, you run it to the one side like that. But in this case, I'm just going to use 2 small pieces. Or if you have a script stamp, you could do that, or a rose bordered stamp, which I do have, that you could do a border stamp or a stitch stamp if you wanted to along there. Or if you have a sewing machine, you could run a sewing machine around it. I also have these that I want to find more. This was gifted to me, and I want to find more of this because mine is a Paris one. And it's beautiful. As you can see, because I wanted one in particular, so I cut all that off. I want to find some more of that stamp. I'm going to have to check Temu and see what they have. Can't wait for my next order, and I can't wait till the order I'm going to put in, because I'm going to order wax seals, and I've got some stamp pads coming, some new stamps. So I'm going to take this. And again, I'm really going out of my comfort zone when I'm at that washi tape because it's kind of different, and I'm still debating it because I have another one I keep thinking might look really nice. So I'm adding that rose pattern to the bottom. I have this one I'm thinking I might use instead. It's too beigey. I think I like having that pop of brightness. And with the washi tape, some I have is really sticky. This one isn't. And washi tape does lose its stickiness. So I always just run it through my glue. Oh, that's not very straight, Christina. So let's straighten that up. And then I've just added a bit more to that. Might not have time to do the other thing if I don't hurry this up. So there we go. What I'll do is I'll cover it up later so that we can embellish these. This is too big to go in there. So for now that can sit there. It's going to be covering up that in a minute anyways. And that's too big, so we'll just slide it on the bottom here. So I'll cover the back of that later. You don't need to do that. So these are going to sit in here like this. Now, technically, most of these don't need any more embellishment. Wait, what's the narrow one that fits in there? That doesn't fit in there. That goes here. Goes here. Doesn't matter. I'll fix that up. So now I have these. Now, this one really doesn't need much more embellishment. Maybe I was thinking, let's see if I can find it easy enough. This one is too big and too bright. And then I did print out of, I think it's called the Welsh ephemera kit. I printed it. So I'm thinking maybe maybe we'll do something like this. I'm not positive we're going to do this. I'm just quickly fussy tagging it out. Later I'll have all these cut out and in the envelope And I'll think of some other things that I might think about that I might use. Maybe some other ephemera I have. And I always, either I cut it out or I darken it with ink. There's too much white showing on that. And also, instead of cutting the white, you could ink up the white part. Either way, you could do that. And enough of you don't, I mean, you all have, many of us who are been doing this for a long time, all have our own little technique. I'm not even sure that ticket is necessary. But I was also thinking putting the ticket as the tag, but I'm not positive on that. And I'm not liking that butterfly. I want a bigger butterfly. I do want, where's my blue gone? I took this out of my blue folder. I put it back. These ones I do this way. This is how I keep a lot of my ephemera, my fussy cut ephemera. And this is a particular digital I buy, and it has purple butterflies, purple birds, and purple flowers. And she does blue, yellow, pink, and I've got the red that I got to still do. And I put them a different cardstock. Most of mine are this color because I want her to stand out because she's different. But eventually, it doesn't really matter. I don't think I want it to waste any more of my pink. I'm looking for a particular butterfly that I love to use. I know Edith uses these ones a lot too. I know it's not in the pink there. Eventually this is going to be more organized where I'm going to have tabs that, like, this has to come out. I just need to buy a couple more of these. I'll probably do that this weekend. Where are those butterflies? There's my yellow orange, my purple, white. See, I mixed it all up. And that's why I want to have the categories. I think I pulled some stuff out the other day I was using, and then I just shoved it back in here. Well, where did those beautiful pink butterflies I have go? Well, back in here we go. We'll just go back to blue. See if I've got anything in here. Oh, maybe this one. Yep. Just seen a tail of one, but it might be too big. Thinking because it had blue and pink in it. Oh, I like that. So I'm going to do that. Yes, I'm using a big butterfly. Now, these are stickers, and these ones were gifted to me. I just bought some from Temu recently. They're very tiny ones, but I know most people wouldn't worry about this, but sometimes I trim off more of the clear because I don't want that so much of that clear showing. So I go ahead. It's not necessary. It's just something I prefer. Everybody has their preferences. It does sometimes make it more difficult when I go to peel that back off. Especially around his body, I really don't need a lot of that plastic. Okay, and then the problem is I can't see the plastic on my desk. Take my glasses back up. And I'm not embellishing this any more other than the top I put on. And I'm bad because I don't do my toppers a lot of times till later. There, that's all I'm putting on that. Okay, maybe, might end up maybe a word, but for now I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm not going to put my top on it. I think I'm going to end up just doing tabs with paper to keep it thin, because this is going to be thick as it is, and if I put material, all 3 of those are ribbon, it's going to make that very bulky for a pocket. Again, this one is really beautiful on its own. I think I'm just going to put a word or something. I'm going to pull that out, go in here to my words, and I think I know which ones I want. I put my gun. Nature your soul, one day at a time. Handmade with love. Wish upon a star. Write your story. Fairy dust wishes. Dreams do come true. I kind of like that one. Love with all your heart. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my, like, it's from a Bible verse. Love God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself is one of my favorite Bible verses. It's what I have focused my whole life around since I was in my early 20s when I got married. And I was married to a minister. And one of the things that we always said we would always do is show God's love through the way we love others. And that is loving them with your whole heart, with no conditions. I forgive very easily. Does it always mean I forget? No. But I forgive. And do I hold it? No. I have people in my life that have hurt me, and I just choose to love with my whole heart. But I'm wondering, I want to darken that a little bit more so that it stands out a little bit more. Oop. But then I'm also thinking what might look pretty is a label, but I have a certain label that really, and I don't know if I saw that to the, maybe that one or that one. And I plan to have these, like this one I haven't labeled yet, but this I'm not going to label on the outside. I'm going to write it on the inside in pencil so that I can, but the Digital All Goodies and Stacy Stories, I love their labels. And I think, I can't remember who this is. I just found the person I bought it from yesterday because I needed to print some more. But I'm not sure any of the ones I have here are either too big. Yeah, see, that's too big. And the same with this. It's just too big. So those ones won't work. But then the other thought is this. Where I could put it inside the label. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And I'm just going to trim this up. I didn't fully fussy cut it when I did it. I probably got tired hands and just said, well, when I need it, I can fussy cut it closer. I find when I'm doing straight lines, I use the bigger scissors. When I'm doing like a lot of turns and twists, I use the fine tip in my fussy cutting, where I used to only use, yeah, I think I like that. Perfect. Exactly what I want. So let's run this through the glue. I might not get to the other thing I wanted to do. You know, you think, well, it won't take me long to do this. But embellishing always takes me time. Getting it to fit in there. There we go.